Hey y'all, it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it till the crowd can't take no more. Then hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Hello everybody and welcome to Newton, Iowa for race number 12 of the LIMECAR SimRacing Challenge Season 4, the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. It's the wonderful, just under a mile long short track oval, 0.875 mile short track here in Newton, Iowa. It's a beautiful facility, beautiful track, and we are here ready to go 88 laps around. Honestly, probably one of the more driver favorite tracks on the schedule. We're going to see what should be a pretty interesting, pretty hopefully solid race. Nobody in the booth alongside me here tonight, so just have to worry about me, unfortunately. Nobody was able to make the trip out to Iowa, but we're having our little Midwest swing here. We were at Coda before Gateway, and then now we're at Iowa before next week. We're going to head out to Darlington, which should be a great turn of events. 42 drivers entered here today on Sunday. They qualified, they practiced twice, and then now we are ready to go racing here in just a little bit. Let's go over our race facts. 88 laps around this 0.875 mile oval D-shaped short track. This is a driver's track, folks. We're going to be talking about it all week, or talking about it all race. This is one of the more fan favorite and driver favorite courses just because of how much you're able to control your car. It's going to be really a driver's track. Fuel run 45 to 55 laps, and your track position is key. You're going to see a lot of the major moves being made on pit road. Let's go through our starting lineup here. Row number 1 sees Grayson Collins and Justin Haley. Row 2 is going to have Tyler Cook and Zachary Ponce. Row 3, moving onward, sees Garrett Lamar and Robbie Gordoff. Row 4 has Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. and Ryan Barone. Row number 5 sees Hunter Collier and Anthony Foss. Row 6, Nicholas Soa, the driver who led majority of the last short track race, and Austin Green. Logan Williams and Strokey Banger make up row 7. Santiago Nicholas trying to get on the back on the rebound after last week alongside Kyle Mabey. Henry Guo finished second last week, Cass Growler alongside him. Reed Simpson, Ian McDaniel make up row number 10. Row 11 sees Matthew Fastnot and Ethan Harrison. Row 12 sees Cam Arrow and Michael Guthrie. Row number 13 is going to have Eris Yuko and Aaron Giffen. Row 14, Joe Kraus, Richard Fridge. That's going to be your middle sector of the field as we move on to row 15, Jerry Chen and Christian Viscotti. Christopher Manel won last week's race, and Ricardo Garcia sit in row 16. Row 17, the hometown kid, Iowa City native Blake Walker, and Nathan Stapleton. Cam Wright Jr. and Jordan Madrid. See row 18. Row 19 has Chase Gibbons and Chris Lilly, teammates in row 19. Row 20 sees another teammate pairing in Alexander Rowe and Braden Sigafos, and rounding out the field, Norris Told and Quinton Haley. Saw a lot of Fords running up front during practice and happy hour. In fact, in happy hour, all 4 Bones Motorsports cars were within the top 10 just a matter of, will that speed pay off towards the race? We have a lot of Chevys up front, 2 of them in the front row with Brayson Collins and his friend Justin Haley alongside them. 88 laps here in Newton, Iowa. It's going to be a fun one as Brayson Collins, Justin Haley lead him down. Green flag is out. We're underway. The 5 car already with an early advantage leads them into turn number 1. As the field races out of turn number 2, you see you're really going to want to wrap that bottom lane. The yellow sort of paint marker is where you want to be. The outside isn't exactly the place that you want to find yourself. I mean, Justin Haley tried to cut off Tyler Cook there in the back, but that 99 car, and it was a lot of the other drivers that were on that top lane. They're going to be fighting to try to get to the bottom. We're going to go on board with Brian Barone here, who has made up some positions on that high outside lane. But him, as well as many others, are going to definitely try to make their way down to this bottom groove here. A lot like a Martinsville, or a lot like a Bristol, or a lot like a Martinsville where you want to get to the bottom, a lot like Bristol where we saw wanting to get to the bottom. There goes Ryan Barone. Oh, never mind. He had the 21 of Anthony Foss underneath him. Here's Garrett Lamar. He's right behind that 43 car of Tyler Cook. Those two had a little bit of a run-in last week at Gateway, if you can call it that. Tyler Cook definitely didn't have the strongest of performances, especially turning your teammate. But nonetheless, they're sitting 2nd and 3rd right now. They had an internal team meeting, so hopefully that went well. The 51 in-season tournament winner sitting in 25th right now. And he won our last race at a short track, which was Bristol Motor Speedway. So interesting to see that the drivers that we saw fast at Bristol really aren't up front as of right now. Brayson Collins did do decently, season the lead, as we have a little bit of a stack up the 53 with Disgrace Greenhouse Jr. that's going to nudge Garrett Lamar up the track as we're looking at the 43 and 13 of Garrett Lamar. Garrett Lamar getting right up to that rear bumper. Team owner Christopher Manell definitely encourages a little bit of aggression from his drivers. Definitely one of the cleaner drivers in the field is the team owner, but having employed his fair share of, I would say, aggressive drivers in the past. Marnell told me earlier they had a little bit of a talk between Lamar and Cook, and they were able to reach a positive conclusion. And that's not typically something that happens, especially with internal team conflict, especially a situation like that. I know Mudfish Motorsports, when when Ricardo Garcia spun one of his teammates at Rockingham, wasn't exactly pleased with really that happening in on the team. As we look at Justin Haley, he's been falling back outside of the top 10. Has a space to get down to the bottom, but it looks like he missed the corner there. The 99 has finally, it looks like he's slotted in line in about 10th place. But as I was saying, Christopher Marnell has definitely employed his fair share of aggressive drivers. As we look at this battle here for 19th, this is between Chase Gibbons, or no, not 19th, this is way back in the field actually. This is for 35th, 36th. This is Aaron Giffen and Chase Gibbons. Two drivers that made it to the Final Four in the in-season tournament, finding their way in the back of the field, especially this 14 of Chase Gibbons. He did really well at Bristol. To see him back in the pack is a little bit of a shock, especially here at Iowa. 3 wide here the 04 Matthew Fastnot hanging on that right rear. You're going to see a lot of that. Drivers really driving off the right rear of the car. Those right side tires are going to burn off far quicker than the left side tires. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how drivers are able to really utilize this tire compound. We have a harder tire compound on the right side, but you're still going to burn it off quicker than the left sides, as Austin Green is the one who's being shunted out to the back, to the shadow realm of the outside. And here's last week's winner, Christopher Burnell, in the number 23, sitting in 25th right now on lap 13 of 88. He's found his way to the bottom side. Definitely has quite a bit of time to work his way through the field. We saw that last week. That 23 car was methodically working his way through the field. It seems like they've brought the same type of car, a little bit different of a track. You don't have to. You're heavy on the brakes, as you see a little bit right there, but you aren't. You're really working the throttle, pedaling it. Marnell is pretty talented at these types of courses, so I would expect him to be able to work his way through the field, but it just seems so difficult to pass already, and so difficult to really work your way through as the 13 goes underneath the 53. Aquarius Greenhouse Jr. looks like he's going to lose that third position to Lamar, and Lamar's going to try to make his way underneath Cook to make it 2 for 1. He gives him a little body, gives him a little door. The 43 gives him a lot of room there. Actually gets a pretty decent run out of the corner, as Lamar is going to try to make 2 passes in 2 laps. That 13 angles his car, so then the 43 can't really chop the nose on him, and he's going to not clear him quite yet, but it looks like he's going to clear him into turn 3. Lamar makes the pass, and that is second place for the Seattle, Washington native. Only one win on the season for the CRT group, and that is, of course, Christopher Marnell, who has gotten that win. With Tyler Cook finishing second in the first 2 races, getting that early points lead. We haven't seen much of that 43 car since. I mean, we saw him wrecking in spectacular fashion at Rockingham, but since then that 43 car has taken a slow slide down the point standings. This is the first race, I would say. I mean, last week at Gateway had a pretty good run of form with that 43 car until his incidents, but we're really looking for the consistency that Tyler Cook had at the earlier part of the season. Battle for 15th with Reed Simpson and Kaz Gralla. They're side by side here. That 4 holding strong on the outside. Been a fairly unspectacular season for really all 3 of these drivers around here. Some decent runs of form for all of them, especially Soa leading 100 laps at Bristol. Unfortunately, not the last 2. But this has definitely been a season, I would say, for Soa and for a lot of drivers, a season of what it could have been. There's definitely been some races for a lot of people where it slipped out of their hands. So we'll go on board inside the cockpit with the 4 of Reed Simpson. Let's dial in. You can see how he's able to really work the wheel. You're on the chip down that straightaway. He's got a little bit of a battle here for what appears to be about 9th or 10th place. The 21 of Anthony Foss has been pretty quiet this season, but slowly over the past few races, the 21 and especially the KHI camp have really been putting together some good runs. Battle for 6th here, Zachary Ponce and Logan Williams. Logan Williams in not only the same paint scheme, but what they have told me, the same exact car is what they brought to Rockingham. Also the same car that they brought to Gateway. So a lot of different teams definitely bringing the same type of car as they did to Rockingham to here, which definitely makes sense as to why Grayson Collins, who had a win slip away out of his hands at Rockingham to Logan Williams, I would say that's why this 5 car is that fast. They figured out that track for sure. We're on board with Garrett Lamar, another driver who's pretty quick at the Rock. I would say with this track being progressively banked and just a smidge under a mile long, Rockingham high banked and just a smidge over a mile long. Definitely want to bring pretty similar cars, not similar setups, but having the same type of chassis at each different track is going to be critical to finding success here, and it's no surprise that we see the 5 and 13 out in front. The 5 is really able to pull away through that corner, but down the front straightaway, 13 gets right up to the back bumper of him, not pulling out, not making a move. It looks like Garrett Lamar just biding his time here. As we see, as the tires will start to wear, drivers aren't going to be running up against that wall coming out of the corner again. As you see, big slide out of the 3 there. As we'll see the field through. Bit of a gap between the top 6 or so, separating off. I mean, you would think that this is a tandem race at a plate track in the early 2010s, with how that 13 is right on the back bumper of the 5 there, and they've had helping themselves out throughout the season across the pond, both those teams based in the British Isles. As we see Michael Guthrie in the 51 sitting in 26th now. In the 48, Ricardo Garcia, those two drivers faced off against each other in the in-season tournament battle. A spectacular battle that it was, went all the way down to the wire. Garcia goes from 3rd on that final restart all the way back to 18th. Equivalent, I would say, of blowing a 3-2 lead when you have home field advantage. I mean, that 3-1 lead, maybe. That 48 car almost had it in the bag, but hats off to Michael Guthrie as well. That 48 lost it as much as the 51 earned it. But those two sitting well just above the top 30 here. They're doing not too bad, as we see the 4 of Reed Simpson on that outside, trying to make his way around Nicholas Soa. It looks like he's lost a few positions here. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see, as we see the 53 appears to be battling with Tyler Cook now. And the 60 Hunter Collier right there with them as well. That 60 car looks pretty fast. They were very fast in practice. They were second in happy hour. As I said, all the Bones Motorsports cars within the top 10. The fastest car in happy hour was Tyler Cook. I would say the practice session that's most similar to how we're going to see the race session as we had it yesterday between 4 and 5 p.m. But this 60 now under fire from the 17 of Logan Williams, who appears to be picking up speed through the middle parts of this run. I would say in the next 10, 15 or so laps, as we got side-by-side battling once again, Justin Haley, Anthony Foss here, we're going to see some people maybe start to pit. I would say the undercut is definitely the strategy here in terms of what you want to do. You want to be able to get out in front of the drivers that you're behind by pitting early. If you're the leaders like Grayson Collins, Garrett Lamar, and then maybe Tyler Cook, I would say you guys are sitting ducks. Whenever you guys are waiting for that first round of pit stops to happen, and you're just hoping that you're able to jump or capitalize on the opportunity. But yeah, this pit window definitely opening up here soon, within the next 15 or so laps, looking at about what I've heard on the radio comms, between lap 47, maybe lap 50, somewhere closer to that. Should be something to look out for here, as Justin Haley is under fire. He's lost a few positions now. He's got Henry Guo underneath him. Henry Guo is going to give him no trouble at all, in the sense that the 47 is just going to pass him on by. You just look at that spread there. Top 6 or 7 have really just separated themselves from the field, but the 13 has not separated himself from the rear bumper of the 5. I could imagine Lamar definitely not wanting to use up his stuff here, definitely not wanting to use up his tires, especially this late in the run. You're going to be coming down, getting four fresh Goodyears, 4 fresh tires. Wasting your tires is really just going to hurt you in the long run. I think that 13 crew definitely looking to see if they need to be as close as possible to that 5. See if they can force them to make a mistake, and worst comes to worst, they're gonna try to beat them off pit road. That CRT team has been pretty hit or miss so far. On board 15th, this is Kaz Gralla. Let's listen in. Just listen to how Kaz Gralla is able to manage his throttle here. That 03 car doing decently, as the 83 of Santiago Nicolas trying to find his way around. It looks like the 03 is going to let him in here. 83 doesn't take it. Nicolas Sower in the 08 was the best car at Bristol. He is nowhere to be seen up front so far, but it looks like he's trying to make his way through the field. Madrid Motorsports has definitely put together some pieces over the last few years, over the last few weeks, I'd say. And just outside the top 5 is Logan Williams. We'll go on board with him right behind that 60 car of Hunter Collier. If you're Logan Williams, Hunter Collier, the Square Race Greenhouse Jr., I would say you're pitting as early as possible the second this pit window opens. I wouldn't say you're the first ones come down pit road. Wait to see what some of the middle pack drivers do, but once these middle pack guys go through, goodness gracious, that 13 is right on the back bumper of the 5. Once these middle pack drivers start to come down pit road, maybe like if somebody from 20th comes down pit road, you're coming down the next lap, regardless of what these leaders out in front do, because you want to pit as early as possible and still have enough fuel to make it to the end. We're just about to hit halfway here in this 88 lap race. One of the more interesting lap counts of the season. But nonetheless, definitely a short race too. Very, very short, very, very... can't think of the adjective for it, but a sprint race in a sense. This demands a lot of precision out of these drivers, and it demands a lot of... You need to be on it every lap. Yeah, you just gotta be right there on it. It demands perfection out of these drivers. Lap 47 of 88. Tyler Cook has been sitting there in 3rd place, just waiting. It seems like he's biding his time, which is early in the season. I would have said this is very smart out of this 43 car, but I mean, he just has not had that run of form as of recently. Gateway had a very good race, just got mired back with spinning his teammate and then also getting involved in other incidents. Oh, big slide out of Logan Williams there. He's got Kyle Maybe right on his back bumper as it looks like the 60 of Hunter Collier coming down pit road on lap 48 of 88. It looks like he's going to be the first of this lead group to come down pit road. It looks like we have Jerry Chen, Robbie Gordoff, and a few others on pit road from earlier. Ryan Barone as well. So those guys are trying to undercut. They were outside the top 10, and here comes everybody else, it looks like. 32 of Kyle Maybe has already pitted. He is a few laps down, as we're going to see the field come down pit road. Looks like everybody's coming down. Santiago Nicholas is going to stay out. It looks like he's going to lead a lap. Blake Walker as well. This is where it gets dicey. This is where you might lose some positions. You saw some drivers get choked up there with when they were coming in. They had drivers coming out. This is definitely going to be, if you were someone that pitted earlier, you definitely had a clean sort of entry to pit road, as the 83 is now going to come down pit road. Looks like he's going to have a clear shot to his box as everybody else is either coming out or already getting serviced. Oh, has to check up a little bit, but it looks like he's going to be okay. As 4 tires and fuel for the 5. Peels away, goes Grayson Collins. Looks like the 13 is going to beat him out of pit road. Let's see where the 60 is going to cycle. It looks like Hunter Collier is going to pass them both coming off of pit road here on lap 51 of 88. So Hunter Collier with the short pit goes from 5th to de facto 1st as we cross the stripe. The 83 staying on pit road, and it will be Hunter Collier in the lead here on lap 51 of 88. It looks like the 83 is going to lose some positions to the 88 of Blake Walker, who appears to have had an amazing stop. So the 60 of Hunter Collier has taken the lead here on lap 52 of 88. With the undercut goes from 5th to 1st, and he's got a massive margin. Still have plenty of race to go, as Lamar did what seemed to be everything perfect. He passed the 5 on pit road, was able to get past him, but didn't anticipate the strategy of the 60, or at least that's not something he could really do. The 37 and the 46 both had great pit stops. The 37 of Jerry Chen gained 10 spots under that pit cycle, as the 46 of Ryan Barone is in front of him as well. Barone gained a few spots as well. But Jerry Chen did what needed to be done with that DAF Racing crew on pit road at a track that seems to have... Oh, big wiggle out of the 37 there. But in a race that appears to have had very little sort of passing on the road. Good to see. The DAF Racing crew. CRT, the 33, they've gained a few spots after pit road as well. Sitting behind Logan Williams here on lap 55-88. Let's go on board with the 60 and let's go through the field here. Hunter Collier sitting in first, just sitting out front, has had a good day so far. Garrett Lamar trying to reel in Collier, has had good speed, but as we've mentioned, he's just had bad luck. Either getting wrecked or getting spun. He's had the brake issue or the tire vibration issue at the Roval, and that was surely to be a top 3 finish. It's just been a season of what ifs for Garrett Lamar. sitting in second right now. Third place, Bryson Collins, all over the 13. He wants it badly. I mean, he led practically the first 48, 49 laps here, and had a great run of form at Rockingham. He's had great runs all season, really, for that single car operation. He wants this win badly. He needs this good points day here. Tyler Cook, trying to have a clean day. He's having a clean day, opposite of last week, as we saw. Needs points, though. This 43 team hasn't had the greatest run as of recently in the point standings. He's currently sitting in 9th right now, but that 43 car definitely could have more. Aquarius Greenhouse Jr. sitting in 5th. Just trying to capitalize. Trying to turn good runs into good finishes. They've had one but not the other. They usually have a good run and a bad finish, or a bad run and a good finish. They're trying to make sure that they at least get both for today. They seem to be doing well in 5th. In 6th place, Logan Williams, bringing the same car from the win as Rockingham, finally back up front. Hasn't had the greatest of the last 2 weeks. The 17 car just hasn't been visible as of recently, but this is the first time that they've been in the top 10 for quite a few weeks. Great to see that BAF Racing organization back up front with them. Robbie Gordoff, another driver with a season of what-ifs, could have won the Roval, and last week was leading until 2 laps to go before getting passed by his team owner. He wants it bad. He was so close last week. Another top 10 run. Might not have enough, but he's just hoping to have a chance. Zachary Ponce is all over the back bumper of the 33, trying to force him into a mistake, sitting in 8th place. Good Ford day. Good day for these Fords, especially from Zachary Ponce, who really just needs some luck. Another driver who's been mired with bad luck, bad wrecks. Wasn't doing well in the points earlier this season, but has been doing decently so far. Sitting in 8th today. Our Coke 600 winner and Duel 2 winner, Strokey Banger in the 84. Just waiting for it to be over. He's sitting on an island all alone right now in 9th place. And he says the car is an absolute handful. They made some adjustments on that on that last pit stop, and it just did not work. Sitting in 10th place, the 21 of Anthony Foss started to put some good runs together, especially in the last week at Gateway. He's trying to work his way through this midfield battle, trying to work his way back into it. Sitting in 35th in points right now, but has had a good run of the last few weeks. Definitely could be turning things around. Ryan Barone in the 46. He has advanced also quite a few spots with the undercut strategy. It was 9 spots officially on pit road for that Ryan Barone camp, sitting in 11th place right now. Also, someone who needs a good run this 1-3 racing camp, has shown speed, just not consistency. A lot of things that we see with the parity of this series is speed but not consistency, or consistency but not speed. Another strong Ford showing for Cam Wright Jr., sitting in 12th place right now. Hasn't had a solid weekend this year, just hasn't been able to put something together. I think a good 12th place run of form will be great for this Topher Motorsports 52K. Jerry Chen is in the thick of the midfield battle. Another quiet top 20 run. Ever since Las Vegas, where he DNF'd, he's been pretty consistent. Has been doing well. Even with the flip at Armory Digital, he was able to come back and finish that race still. So this 37 team has shown resiliency and shown grit. The 68 of Jordan Madron in 14th place. Both cars inside the top 20, both bringing the same cars from Bristol, where they also both finished within the top 20. Jordan Madron, one of the several owner drivers, has quietly been racking up the good races Blake Walker has currently the Hard Charger Award right now, Iowa City native, at one of his favorite tracks on the schedule, of course, it being his home track, has gone from 33rd to 15th. Needs luck to get into the top 20 in points, currently sitting in 23rd. But this Blake Walker camp has done well. Not a sprint car, but he says he's got the hang of it. Reed Simpson in the 4, 16th place, the highest Toyota of the 3 that he owns and manages. Happy his car is clean, has no scratches, no dents, no bumps on it. Been taking it easy as of recent, but this 4 car has been keeping the fenders clean, which is making his pocketbook happy. Nicholas Soa in 17th. Not the run that we saw from him at Bristol, but a clean run from the 08 nonetheless. It looks like that this car is going to be brought back for more short oval action here. His big slide up before. Nicholas Soa has been doing quite amicable as of recent. I would say there's not many verbs to describe that 08 camp, but they've been doing decent. And decent is good, especially in this series. As we look at Brayson Collins here sitting behind the 13, trying to work his way back through. We're getting a lot of radio communications, just talking between him and his spotter and him and his crew chief. What can I do to get better? How can I make this car better? How can I track down this 13 and 60 car? And they're just saying, just keep doing what you're doing, keep running qualifying laps. Got a report from pit road that the right rears were a little burnt off. They weren't fully burnt off, but not as much tire wear as we were expecting. So just with that information, they're telling the drivers to just go for it, to go as hard as you possibly can. I'm not sure they're telling that to the Bones Motorsports 60 car, but 13. You can see Garrett Lamar is slowly trying to reel him in, so they must have told him to flip the switch to just go as hard as possible to try and track down the leader with 12 laps to go here at Iowa. These laps are going to tick down quickly. Got a lap car in front as well. That's the 29 of Cam Arrow. You see the top 5 or 6 or so flying by. Big gaggle over here for what appears to be 23rd on back. It's a beehive. This is exactly what the leaders don't want to see, is this beehive is slowly getting closer and closer to the front. If this was a little bit longer of a race, it would be something that we would be having to keep our eye on in terms of having the leaders having to navigate it, as it's legitimately 23rd on back. It's the entire back half of this field. Two really good friends here. Whoa, and looks like the 43 is slow. I was going to mention that the 23 and 48 were side by side with each other. Looks like 43 of Tyler Cook is slow here with 10 laps to go. He gets passed by Discorius Greenhouse Jr. with ease. We're going to have to get word on what happened with the 43 as the 13 all over this back bumper, the 60. This is going to get good. Get your popcorn out, folks. It looks like we're going to have a great battle for the win. 9 laps to go, coming to 8 laps to go here at Iowa Speedway. Garrett Lamar all over this back bumper of the 60 car. We're going to go in-car camera. We'll go silent for a little bit. Let's listen to this Garrett Lamar car work his way around Iowa. Not able to get close enough to make a move. This 13 car is running out of time. 5 miles to go for Garrett Lamar coming to the stripes. 6 laps to go. here. Time is ticking. This driver out in front, Hunter Collier, was leading at the white flag at Auto Club Speedway. Lost it on the final lap to Logan Williams, who has 2 wins on the year. The 60 car, 0 wins on the year. 0 wins in his career. 5 laps to go. Garrett Lamar has 3 wins, all at road courses, searching for his first oval victory of his career. Sitting in 3rd place, not out of the picture yet, Brayson Collins. As we mentioned, Rockingham, just 5 laps too short. Got caught up by a lapped car. In fact, it was the same lapped car, the 29 of Cam Arrow, who caused him to lose a little bit of ground. The 29 goes wide here for Hunter Collier, but it's not like that's going to matter, as we have the 80 of Christian Visconti with damage, as well as the 14 of Chase Gibbons. Big wobble out of the 13 of Garrett Lamar. He's going to lose a ton of ground. Here, actually, no, he's still right on that back bumper. The 63 laps to go here at Iowa. Brayson Collins has firmly planted himself back in the mix. Right on that back bumper. The 13, he gave him a little shove down the back straightaway. 2 miles to go here at Iowa Speedway. The 13 gives the 60 a bit of a shove. The 60 unfazed by it. Hunter Collier doing everything he possibly can to not lose it on the last lap again. 2 to go. Cam Arrow and Christian Visconti are blocking. That's the 1 of Chris Lilly. Appears that he's out of gas. We got word on what happened with the 43. They didn't fill it all the way full. He's going to have to coast it all the way back. He was going to be 1 lap short. The 60, 13, 2 laps to go. Coming to 1 lap to go. 4 more corners. Can Garrett Lamar do it? Or will Hunter Collier see his first checkered flag in the front in LIMECAR history? Down into turns 1 and 2. The 60, a little bit of a wiggle. The 13 gets phased by it. He's going to clear the 80. And the 60 is going to go into turns 3 and 4 with ease. 1 more shot for Garrett Lamar. Not going to do it. Hunter Collier from the Cayman Islands is going to cross the line and win here at Iowa. The island boy was on an island all by himself out front until the final few laps. But he is going to take the checkered flag and the trophy back home from the Great Plains to the Island State. Hunter Collier crawling down the front straightaway is going to burn it down here. Your winner here at Iowa Speedway for the Iowa Corn 350. It's the 60 of Hunter Collier for Bones Motorsports taking home the checkered flag. We'll take a look at our official results here. Hunter Collier, Garrett Lamar, Brayson Collins, the Square Ace Greenhouse Jr., Logan Williams make up your top 5. Jordan Madger, Nicholas Soa, to your team owner and teammate, finished 16th and 17th. Tyler Cook is going to end up in 18th after having to save so much fuel. That's such a stinger for that 43 camp, who once again is not able to finish out the race. We'll scroll on through here. Chris Lilly ran out of gas. He finishes 2 laps down here. As Justin Haley started on the front row, finishes 27th. Not ideal for the 99 camp, about where he normally runs, so I don't think he should be too worried. But it was all Collins in the first half of the race, and it was all Collier in the second half of the race. as we'll take a look at our current point standings. Michael Guthrie still holds the points lead, but it's only a 5-point gap between him and Santiago Nicholas, and then another 10 to Logan Williams. Don't look now. Henry Guo has made his way into 4th place in the points standings, and we just have a massively tight battle from there on out. I mean, this is just ridiculously tight between 4th place and on back. So strong of a field that we have. Quentin Haley sitting in 39th just hasn't had the season that we've all expected from the 31 camp. But that's all that she wrote from Iowa. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week for hopefully a higher spirited me and hopefully someone else in the booth with me at Darlington for the Southern 500. We'll see you all there.